am so excited to say hello from London. If you guys are new here, I am a flight attendant and I just kind of share my life through weekly vlogs. A goal of mine this year was to do more specific book videos and recommendations and reading vlogs, and I said, you know what? I have been in a reading slump for way too long, so what better way to get me out of it, forcing myself out of it, by filming a vlog of reading. And so that's what we're doing today. With wanting to film more specific, especially reading videos, I was like, what am I in the mood for? I have been in the biggest reading slump for so long now. It should be honestly illegal. And so this morning, as I was getting ready to come to London for my trip, I was like, I was literally, I don't know if I was doing my skincare or something. I was like, what books do I have that are based in London? And I just kept thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? We are gonna read books where the setting takes place in London. London is my favorite ever. Taylor Swift Tortured Poets Department came out, and I am obsessed with it. It has so much London in it, and I have just been in my little London era. So I said, you know what? I want to read books based in London. I have a few on my shelf that I've been meaning to read. I am just so excited. We're in London. We are going to be reading books that have to do with London this week. I already started one on my flight today. I actually have the physical copy, but I have copies that are out of print, so I didn't want to bring it with me, and it was free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you're a Kindle Unlimited girly and this book sounds good to you, I'm not going to explain it now because I have to eat or else I'm going to fight somebody, but I started A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. A Darker Shade of Magic is a trilogy, and I'm pretty sure it's complete, but don't quote me on that. I'll figure it out and put it here as I edit. But yeah, I started this book today. I am 18% in. I need to read a little bit more. I'm not fully sure, but it's just kind of getting into it. We're getting introduced to different characters. It is very London-esque. They already introduced a lot of different things that are in London that made me so happy. So already this video is off to a great start. Like I said, I'm only 18% in. I'm still a little bit confused, but I'll get there with understanding. So yeah, we're just gonna read in this video. I'm starting it out in London. I'm gonna go out to, I can't ever do this. I don't know why it's so hard for me. We're starting this video in London. I am about to go, hopefully, to my favorite restaurant ever. It's been a minute since I've been. If you were ever coming to London, or if you're somebody that's come to London and you've asked for recommendations, I'm sure 75 people have screamed at you, probably me being one, and been like, go to the Shoom. And it's the best. It's a Monday. I don't have a reservation, and it's 3:30, I believe. Yeah, it's almost 3:30, so I'm hoping I'm gonna beat the dinner crowd. It's just gonna be me, so hopefully I'll be able to get a seat, but I'm gonna go to the Shoom. I am gonna go book shopping with you guys, but I think I want to buy a book in London that takes place in London, and I just want to go book shopping with you guys. So we may buy a London-based book today. I also have a friend that requested a book, so I need to go get her that. We're just gonna start off this video in London on my layover, and we're gonna be reading this week and hanging out and hopefully finding some amazing books together, because Lord knows I need it with the way that I have been reading. Here's to hoping we have a beautiful week filled with all things London and some amazing books. gosh. I feel like I got hit by an actual big red bus. It's 9 o'clock right now. I was out from like 2:30 to just a few minutes ago. So I am white. It actually was raining here, so I didn't walk as much as I usually do, but I did go to 2 bookstores. One called Foyles that I've only ever been to once before. It's actually ginormous. And then I went to a Waterstones location here that I hadn't been to before, but I've always wanted to go to. Waterstones is basically like their version, I feel like, of like Barnes & Noble. Like they have exclusive Waterstone editions and they have different locations and they're massive. But they are just my favorite ever. There's just something so different and special about a UK bookstore. I don't know what it is. I will probably never not go to a bookstore when I come here. I don't always buy books every time. I've been really trying to only buy what I know I'm gonna read and not just buy to buy, and I've been doing so good. Just being in there brings me the utmost joy. And so yeah, I got to go to a new location today. I shared in a recent video that I kept doing like the same little London routine, and since I've been here this month, every layover I've done something new. I have not gone to the same neighborhood or the same place. And it's been such a breath of fresh air. But yeah, today I went to 2 bookstores and I walked around a bunch. I popped in and out of some stores here, like Primark, if you know, you know. And then recently I saw this TikTok of this like handmade chocolate bar place called Barnaby. And I'm so excited. I've been thinking about eating this all day, but I got like little homemade chocolate bars. And I'm about to eat one in just a second. I'm so excited. I went to the bookstores and the only thing that I really wanted to get was something that was based in London. And the only book that I thought I would like that was semi-based in London was I think it's Hamnet. That one, she lives in a town, I don't think it's that far away, and her dad works in London. And I think it has a little bit to do with London, but not fully. So I was like, I feel like that's cheating, but it is a book that I really want to read. But I did get 2 books I'm going to share with you. I got Circe. I actually have this at my house, but it's my friend Michelle's book, and she told me it's her favorite ever, and she told me to read it, and I have had it for like at least a year now, and I still haven't read it. But I had book club 2 nights ago, and we decided to read Circe for June, and so I have to give Michelle's back to her, and I just think I'm probably gonna like it from what she explained to me. So I ended up getting it so I could have it to read this month for book club. And then since I couldn't really find anything London based, I would like to do a video soon of summer book recommendations and also like my summer TBR. And so I'm just looking for more like summery based books that I haven't heard about or seen. And this one popped up. It was sitting like on a random cart. It wasn't even on like a table or on a shelf. And I was like, ooh, 7 Summers. And I looked it up and it had a really good rating. And I've never heard or seen this book before. Yeah, these are the 2 books that I got. And of course, I read my book a bunch. I got to, I think, part 4, but it's going great so far. I definitely will have a lot more to update you on tomorrow because I'll read a lot during my flight. And yeah, when I get home to LA, I will share everything. I feel like I'll probably be closer to halfway done, and hopefully it will all make a little bit more sense. And I also won't be sleep deprived, so my, little gist of the book might make a little bit more sense. And yeah, we'll just keep reading about London, and I'm so glad I got to come and just spend the day with you guys. It's always so special. I feel so lucky that I get to come here, and yeah. Oh, before I go, I need to try one of these. It's like a homemade Butterfinger. Holy shit. Hello! I'm home now. I have my Percy the Pig snacks. Percy the Pig is like the equivalent of Colin the Caterpillar. If you don't know Colin the Caterpillar, it's very big over in London. I'm not sure if it's like everywhere over there or what, but I actually found out about Colin the Caterpillar from the Great British Bake Off. And yeah, it's just a really big like character over there. I'm not sure if Percy has a show, but there's tons of like snacks and candies and drinks that have to do with Percy the Pig, and the fizzly pigtails are my favorite. You can't have none of that. I do have a reading update for you. One thing about me is that V.E. Schwab, she is gonna have me sat down, focused, falling in love with reading every single time I read one of her books. Mind you, I've only read 3 of her books, but they're like my favorite books ever. Guys. I know I'm crazy. You have to read this book. I can't recommend the whole series yet, but the first book, I genuinely started on my flight to London yesterday. I read on my break. I read when I could during the flight. I read at dinner. I read in my room before bed. I read all today. I couldn't sleep on my break today, so I read, and I was reading on my Kindle, so you know, you can't really see how far you've read. So when I got home, I went to go keep reading because I'm obsessed, and I grabbed my physical book. Guys, this is how many pages I have left. Oh my God, this book, I want to explain it to you guys like really good. So I literally wrote a note of what was going on the whole time. So in the best way that I can try to describe this book is magical. This book is based upon a parallel London. So London is split up into 4 different like worlds, and they're color based. So there's red London, gray London, white London, and black London. We are following the main character Kel, who is a magical being called an Antari. The only Antaris that we know of in this book are Kel and this other guy named Holland. And only Antaris can travel between the different colors of London, these different worlds. Nobody else can pass through. The only people that can are Antaris. There was kind of this really bad, like magical plague that turned a lot of people really bad when all of the Londons used to like be open to one another. So because of that happening, they closed off the London. So they're all separate and only the Antari can get through to them. So they're kind of like messengers. They take letters in between worlds. And so that is what the book opens up with Kel doing. He's delivering letters. And in the midst of him traveling between the worlds, delivering letters, he gets set up by somebody, and he has given this black stone, and the black stone ends up being like really bad magic. The stone is actually from Black London, and Black London is the only like world that is closed off. Nobody has gotten in or out of it since they closed it. They thought that they destroyed all of the artifacts that came from Black London, and they didn't, because this stone shows up out of nowhere, and it just kind of goes from there. And there's this other character that's kind of been introduced already named Lila. She is a pickpocketer that is wanted in Grey London, and so they end up running into each other right after he gets the stone. Lila pickpockets it off of him, and a very interesting bond is formed between the two. Oh, the most amazing duo. It has me kicking my feet. It's everything. Really, the plot of this book is that they get this stone, and since it's really bad magic and it comes from Black London that is closed off, Kel is like, we literally have to get this out of here. People are fighting me for it. People are trying to kill me for it. Like, we have to get it out of here, and the only way to get it back is to bring it back to Black London. That's it. So I am going to sit here and read the last 50 pages. I just got to part 13. Isn't that so pretty? Every time I pick up one of her books, I am like, why did I let that sit on my shelf for so long? And genuinely, that's just every time I pick up her books, that is how I feel. She is hands down my favorite author. I love her writing. I love her characters. All of her characters are literally morally gray, and she does it She does it so well. I can't even begin to express to you, but I'm just gonna sit here on the couch, eat my candy, and keep reading. What? Oh my gosh. The tension in this book, it's just so good. It's not even like romantic tension. It's just like morally gray and really bad people like fighting and trying to kill each other. And I shouldn't be like giggling, but I am. Oh, it's so good. So good. Wait. Can you see? I'm really nervous because that was crazy. No. Oh. Look at my view right now. I have 10 pages. I'm so nervous. I'm like, this is what my brain feels like. Wait. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. I think it's gonna be a happy ending, but I'll probably regret those words in about 3 seconds. Wow. What a book. I finished my first book for this video. So good. Should I talk in a British accent for this video? It's quite a bit later. It is quite a bit later. It's quite a bit later. It's quite a bit later. I am ready to start my next book, which is going to be With Love from London. Cute little story about this book. I was on a trip and I got home and this was sitting on the counter for me with a little note, and my husband actually went on my want to read like shelf on Goodreads and picked this book up for me and left me a really sweet note with it. So I've been wanting to read it. It's a little sentimental book for me. This sounds like it's gonna be my cup of tea because it's, number one, has to do with a bookstore. And number two, it's a romance that has to do with more than just like love and romance. I love anything that has to do with family or like friendships. So yeah, this sounds like it's gonna be so good. It says, With Love from London is a story about healing and loss, revealing the emotional, relatable truths about love, family, and forgiveness. Look, it's the London Bridge and she's reading a book with a little flower in her hand. I'm so excited. I am going to go outside and start this book. It's been a few days since I filmed. The last time I talked to you, I had just finished A Darker Shade of Magic. And I don't know if I said the rating. I think I'm gonna rate A Darker Shade of Magic a 4.5. V.E. Schwab has my whole entire heart. It doesn't matter what kind of mood I'm in, like even if I'm not in a fantasy mood, and to be honest, I really am never in a fantasy mood. I don't know, I usually don't like crave fantasy, it just kind of happens. And so I'm just so thankful that I finally picked it up. I will 1010% be finishing the series. I am rating it 4.5 because it just like was such a unique book. I feel like every time I read a V.E. Schwab book, I am never gonna read a book like this ever again in my life. And for that reason alone, it already gets like 3 stars, even if it's horrible. But I don't think V.E. Schwab has a bone in her body that would make me not like one of her books. That woman knows how to write a morally gray character, and I love a morally gray man. Sue me, take me to jail, cuff me up. And now I am on my last book of this video. I was like 30 pages in, and then yesterday I just read my little butt off on the flight, and I am like halfway through now. I am on 212. And this book is really, really cute so far. I feel like I don't read books like this enough because sometimes they can feel corny, and there's definitely parts in this book that feel corny, but the London vibes are just there, and it has to do with like a librarian and a bookshop, so it's just making me very, very, very happy. This book follows Valentina and her mother Eloise. It goes back and forth between Valentina and Eloise's like stories, and Valentina's is present day in London, and then it goes to Eloise's perspective, which hers is like earlier on in London, and just like her falling in love and kind of being in this love triangle, and you get to see who she picks, and it kind of goes from there. So in present day, it's Valentina's like perspective, and she is learning a lot about her mother because her mother left when she was 6, and she like never heard from her ever again. And so Eloise actually recently passed, and so Valentina is left with Eloise's bookshop in London. It takes place in Primrose Hill. She is running this bookshop, and her mom even left her like her flat. And so you're just getting to see Valentina learn a lot about her mom. Her mom also left her like these letters to go on this scavenger hunt to like get to know her better. Yeah, so far I'm really liking it. It's definitely more like woman's fiction than it is like romance or anything like that. And I don't read tons of woman's fiction, but I really like the London vibes. It makes me really want to go check out Primrose Hill. And I'm actually in London right now. So I am gonna go get out and have a cute little day, go to some bookstores, go to the park, and just read my book and have all of the perfect, beautiful London vibes. Let's make it official. I finished off the month of May with 3 trips to London. I am just always and forever gonna love London with all of my heart. It's one of the most special places to me. There's just something about it that just feels so right. I just love it so much. So it was such a treat to film this video, to take you guys with me, to show you some of my favorite bookstores in London, some of my favorite neighborhoods in London. We saw some new neighborhoods in London, and it just honestly, it was a blast. Before I say goodbye, I need to update you on the last book that I read, which was With Love from London. When I talked about this book a little bit, I had said it was a little bit out of my comfort zone. Like, I don't read a lot of women's fiction, and I feel like this definitely leans a little bit more towards that. But honestly, surprisingly really good. It definitely was corny. Just kind of the dialogue was a little bit corny. It was a little bit cheesy, and felt, you know, a little bit Hallmarky. I feel like sometimes with these, you know, covers, just books end up being like that. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I feel like I know if the book has this cover, it's probably gonna be a little bit corny. It's still the cutest cover ever, but I don't know how to explain it. I just like, my gut just tells me when I'm at Barnes and I see cute covers like this. The vibes of London were so there. I had said it took place in Primrose Hill, and I don't think I've been to Primrose Hill, but it gave me like the same vibes as Notting Hill, and it just was a really cute little neighborhood. She ran her mom's really cute bookstore. They were trying to save it, and that's kind of what the story, you know, was about. And it just was a story of mother and daughter, even though it was separate in different timelines, and like, you know, just how their stories affected one another, present and past. And it was really, really cute. I think I'm gonna rate this one 3.5 stars, but it really, really does have really good London vibes. And it also has the, you know, bookstore aspect, which I love a book about a bookstore. We ended up reading 2 amazing books in this video. The first book, A Darker Shade of Magic, I rated 4.5, and like I said, this one 3.5. I feel like I'm slowly but surely coming out of my reading slump, and thanks to videos like this and reading books that have been sitting on my shelf, it like just gets me motivated to keep reading and to keep going. So I'm definitely gonna have another fun reading vlog for you guys soon. But until then, I love you, and I will see you very, very soon somewhere on the internet.